So, hi guys, welcome to the MMA UK news. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, for the MMA UK BJJ show. So, tonight we're talking again about Holytown Havoc. Holytown Havoc's going to be this Saturday this Saturday, the 28th of August. All right, so it's going to be at, I believe, do you know what? I had the name of the place you were going to be fighting at.
Social Club.
General Motors Social Club in Holytown this Saturday. So promises to be a great event, as I said, headlined by Chris Bungard. Obviously, everybody knows Chris Bungard and his capability and so on. So we've also got tonight's guest is Gary McMillan from the Scottish Hit Squad. So he's going to be taking on, now my pronunciation is horrible, but I believe it's Guillaume Vles. So going to be taking on Guillaume. I promised to be a great fight. Anybody that watched Gary's last fight, even though he didn't get the decision, his fight was absolutely awesome. We were talking off air about it. Absolutely loved the takedowns and obviously his submission defense and stuff like that. How he lost the fight, I don't know. Obviously the judges there decided they would go for the other guy, Kroll, but I had Gary winning it all day long. So Gary, absolute honour to have you on, buddy. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty decent now. Thanks for having me on. It's good to talk to you.
Definitely. As I said, it's promised to be a great event, Holytown Havoc, as I said, obviously through the amateurs and obviously all the professional fights as well. So it's definitely shaping up to be an absolute fantastic event.
Yeah, it's definitely looking at, man. There's a lot of great fighters. Folk making the pro debuts. Michael, Jordan, I'm looking forward to them massively.
Yeah, definitely. I had a chat with Michael, and Michael was absolutely brilliant, obviously chatting with him. Again, that fight between him and Mark's going to be an absolute awesome fight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. That's probably my pick for the fight of the night. Obviously, obviously the fight of the night doesn't include me, but...
And is that something, I mean, obviously in the gym, because I know when I was talking to obviously a few guys, obviously me training jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, we like to have that friendly banter with each other whenever we go to competitions and things like that. We want to be the best, do you know what I mean? So you guys have a similar kind of banter in the gym with you guys?
Yeah, of course, man. That's just like any group of guys in a situation will do that. I think Bungy's made that official for this show. He said there's some cash prizes on the line.
Yes.
Sub of the night, knockout of the night, performance of the night. So I've got my eyes set squarely on that sub of the night. But then again, I have got a knockout in my record. It could happen again. Yeah. Could cash bonus out of this.
Yeah. Definitely. It always brings out, I mean, obviously you want to go and put a show on anyway, but obviously when there's money on the line, some good money for fight of the night, submission, KOs and stuff like that, does that make you work a little bit harder with that incentive, or is it just business as usual regardless of money or not?
It's nice to think about in the run up to it, but it's not like I wasn't going to give 100% before it.
Yeah, definitely. And what about your training? Obviously, how's your training going now that obviously we're officially being allowed to fully train back to normal, obviously getting bodies in the gym? How's everything been going for yourself?
Yeah, it's going great now that we're all officially allowed back in the gyms. We can get back into full contact sparring, full contact pads. At the beginning of the pandemic, I decided to take up weights for the first time in my life, first time in a few years. So I'm stronger now, I'm better now I've been. I've got cardio that I've never had before. I was always naturally strong, but now I've actually worked on it. That's gone through the roof. As you can see in the last fight, picking up a grown man like it's nothing. Easy.
Yeah. And that's the thing, obviously, your last fight, I know we talked off air about it. I mean, the things that I loved was, I mean, your takedowns. I mean, especially that first takedown you got was absolutely brilliant. I think he threw a kick, you caught his leg, and then sweeped him down. And then, do you know what I mean? For that period of time you were on top of him, you pushed him up against the cage and things like that. And then I know you got back up and you managed to take him down again. So is that something that you always work on, takedowns and stuff like that? Or is that something that's just there as and when it happens?
Well, I came to the Hit Squad with a background in jiu-jitsu, but not much wrestling or boxing or stand-up skills. So obviously having the jiu-jitsu skills is great, but it means nothing if you can't take people down. So I've worked on that a ton. That last fight there, I worked with Finn. from the Scottish wrestling team. He helped me out a ton. So wrestling's always on the block to improve.
Yeah. And as I say, you look comfortable on the ground as well. I know that the guy got you in a couple of submission attempts. Obviously, the commentators made it sound fantastic, but I mean, anybody that's a jiu-jitsu guy or a ground guy knows that you might have had something in there, but I mean, you were comfortable there. You were never going to tap because I say you didn't pull the arm down. It wasn't there. So I mean, how comfortable are you on the ground?
On the ground, that's where I'm best. That's where I started in martial arts. I started at a judo/jiu-jitsu club, going to kids classes there. That's how I got started in jiu-jitsu, and then on the ground, I'm comfortable. Andy in the gym will tell you getting a choke on me is a very hard thing to do. I can quite happily let people crank on my neck for a good wee while. If it's not absolutely tight, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say you look comfortable. I'd say that's he definitely didn't have you in any trouble at all with any submission that he tried to throw on. So, and then obviously your opponent then. So obviously Guillaume Vless. So how did you find out about the fight?
When Bungard was putting on a show, we knew we were going to try to get as many people from the hit squad as we could on it. Anyone who was ready to go, pretty much. I found out about Vlez. I found out he's from the same gym, or at least he used to be from the same gym as the guy that Bungard's fighting.
Yeah.
As with Michael Blair's original opponent, so we got matched up with him. I'm quite happy with that. I've looked him up, haven't been able to find too much on him, apart from he's a pretty good kickboxer. I've only found one fight of his, and he knocked the guy out in under a minute, so that's quite exciting.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, you can take a punch. It's going to be they're going to need to throw something very big at you to knock you out, to put you down. So, as I say, we've seen that in the last punch. The man Kroll was hitting you with all sorts, and it didn't seem to phase you at all.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'd give Bart in that fight is his ground and pound was phenomenal. It's the hardest ground pound I've ever taken by quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think it's for a good wee while.
Definitely. So obviously you're jiu-jitsu. So what belt are you in jiu-jitsu now, Gary?
Still a blue belt. I've had that for a good few years now.
Yeah. Brian not tabbing you up, not putting you up to purple?
Got a few tabs on it, but when I came to the hit squad, I did have a period where I focused too much on wrestling and striking and just let my jiu-jitsu fall to the wayside for a long time. It took going to a couple of different jiu-jitsu competitions and getting a wee awakening of how much I was letting my jiu-jitsu skills slip. So I'm back on top of that now, I'm balancing the different martial arts better than I ever have before.
Definitely. And we're going to see you at some of the jiu-jitsu comps coming up in Scotland, some of the Scottish grappling comps.
I'm registered to Ravenscraig, the Scottish grappling competition the week after this fight.
4th of September,
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that. I'm looking at, there's a NAGA event in London coming up soon. Hopefully I'll go in that. It depends on if there's some other guys for the gym going. I don't really fancy a trip to London by myself, but if there's a group of us going, I'll definitely put my name down for that. Definitely.
When's the NAGA event? When's that coming?
I couldn't tell you the exact date, but I think it's in October, quite late October.
Right. So, and Naga's a great event. Anybody that's ever been to Naga has said a fantastic event they put on. So they come back with the belts as well. If anybody that's been fortunate to win a Naga belt, it's always a great addition to the trophy cabinet at home.
That's like I've got a drawer full of medals up there, but I've not had a belt yet. That'd be a good one to get in there.
Definitely. And then, as I said, very excited to see you. As I say, I follow you on Facebook, so obviously I see some of your videos and stuff like that. You do some of the 24-hour videos and you put them up. So always love watching them. I seen a couple today, in fact, that I think you were throwing punches or kicks, and you were looking solid. You were looking really, really good. So excited to see what you're going to bring on Saturday, Gary.
Yeah, absolutely. Aesthetically in shape, I'm the best I've ever been in my life. That's by quite a bit. I was in just doing lightweight workouts with my little brother this morning. That's the videos that came up.
Yeah.
Working with him out in his back garden, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. Working in the heat's always fun. I'm ready to go.
Nice, nice. And obviously, a couple of questions coming in. Gary, what did you think of the decision in your last fight? So I know we kind of touched on that a bit. I mean, you made it kind of known on Facebook anyway after the fight, because again, you said yourself you felt like you were never going to win a decision where you were with him being the hometown guy.
Yeah, we knew that going in. That's, I don't want to shit talk a show, but that's sort of how we expected that. And then when I walked out of the cage, there was me, my corner, and then about 60 Polish people screaming like fuck. So that's obviously we're going to get the judges on that side.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, I'm fairly certain I won. I've not heard anyone whose name isn't Kroll suggest that he won. Had a wee back and forth with him about that, but it doesn't really matter. It's amateur. It's not like the record really matters. I care more about performances and results, and the performance I'm happy with.
Yeah, definitely. And then again, Katie Hunter again. Did you have any strength and conditioning prior to the pandemic outside of MMA training?
When I was a lot younger, when I was a teenager, I went to the gym every few days. But I sort of stopped doing that when I started getting a job, and then I had a job and working hard all day, then going to MMA training felt like enough. The pandemic came around, the hit squad shut down. A little bit embarrassed to say I got to the heaviest I've ever been in my life, and I figured I had to do something about that, so I bought myself some kettlebells, I bought myself a bench, and I started working out in my house. My little brother joined me for that. He's learned to work out for me, and he ended up putting on 15 kilograms of muscle in a few months, so apparently my program works.
Yeah. Did you get the kettlebells and the bench before the prices went up?
No. Well, I had the kettlebells before the prices went up, but then I started looking at a bench and a bar and the weights for that, and it was not good, but I felt it needed to be done to help myself to continue on this path going down martial arts.
Yeah, definitely. No, I know the prices went mental for weights. I mean, people are selling, I don't know, like 10 kilo weights for like 80 quid and all that. Do you know what I mean? The plastic ones as well. Do you know what I mean? So just ridiculous prices, man. Absolutely ridiculous.
So at a glance there, I ended up having to settle for a few plastic ones. I was looking online at second-hand ones, and I think at best I was finding things priced at £4 or £3 a kilo.
Yeah, man, it was absolutely nuts. And then, Aaron, this has to be one of the biggest cards for Havoc. How pumped are you?
Oh, man, it's going to be great. I'm quite glad I'm still in the amateur ranks, so I'll get to sit down and relax and just enjoy the pros. But even before then, Ryan Campbell, he'll be great. He's always fun to watch in a fight. And then I'm trying to think who else. We got Max making his debut. I think he's on this show. He's either on this show or he's on one coming up very soon. He's a great guy, and he's younger than you think, but he's huge. I mean, the guy's he must be 6 feet. So it'll be exciting to see what he's capable of when he lets go.
Yeah. And Jordan as well, mate. Jordan making his debut. Professional debut.
Against Michael Stewart. You might not know, Michael Stewart handed me my first loss. So I've fought him, and having known both their skills, obviously I'm sure Jordan's improved a ton, and I'm sure Michael's improved a ton in the time since I fought him. That was over a year ago. But at the level he was when I fought him, I can't see anything except Jordan destroying him. Yeah.
No, I'd say that Jordan's pro debut has been coming for a while. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people excited to see what.
When I started that squad, and then I found out Jordan's an amateur, I'm like, you sandbagging bastard, are you fucking
But no, listen, it's been coming for a while, but we're eventually going to get to see him on Saturday night. So, and then, listen, last thing for you, anybody, Gary, you want to thank, anybody, whether it be training partners, sponsors, friends, family, anything like that?
My little brother, he's always here for my strength conditioning sessions. He's physically in great shape. He wants to get started or to get serious about his martial arts journey. So I look forward to that. Dean, all the guys in the hit squad are obviously great help, always helping me prepare in the gym every day, working hard with them. As far as sponsors, I actually don't have any. If anybody happens to be watching this, feel free to get in touch. and I'm looking forward to getting this right.
Definitely. Listen, I'm looking forward to it, Gary. As I say, the last fight, as I said at Budo, I said I thought you won it. There was quite a few people thought you won it as well. So you put on an absolutely brilliant performance. Obviously, this time, as you said, you're going to come out even better. So looking forward to it, bro. All right. Well, listen, you stay safe, train well, and we'll see you Saturday, okay?
Thank you very much. To see you Saturday, Stuart.
Take it easy, buddy.